Hello, y'all. Welcome to a review of Star is Born. I don't really know what genre you would call it. I guess romance? I don't know. Starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, of all people. I mean, I saw this movie like 2 weeks ago, and I'm just now getting around to reviewing it. But the one side of procrastinating forever and reviewing things way after they came out is that I can sort of analyze whether or not the movie, whether or not the movie held up, or not held up, but like made a lasting impact. Like, do I remember the movie? Like movies like Jumanji, the last. Whatever the subtitle is, the Jumanji sequel, which I reviewed way after the fact, after I saw the movie a second time. That gave me a little bit of perspective, and that movie made enough of an impression on me that I wanted to watch it again, and then review it. Or Infinity War, which I never got around to covering, which I didn't review, and I don't know why, but I did see it. And I'll probably just, when the second one comes out, or not the second, well, like when Avengers 4 comes out, I'll kind of compare the two parts of Infinity War. I know Avengers 4 isn't going to be Infinity War Part 2, but I'll review them together and see how well they gel. Rather than, because at this point, reviewing Infinity War would be pointless. I can't say anything anyone else hasn't already said. But it's like, that movie made a lasting impression on me. Jumanji made a lasting impression on me. A Star is Born, despite the positive things I said about it, it's on Instagram. I posted a post right after I saw it, like saying positive stuff about it. Despite the positive stuff I said on there, I don't think the movie made that much of an impression on me. I'm already like kind of forgetting what happened in the movie. So basically, Bradley Cooper plays a country singer who's, he's in his older age. He's kind of got a bit of a drugs, alcohol problem. He's just kind of not washed up because he's still popular, but like kind of disgruntled. And then he stumbles into a random bar and meets Lady Gaga's character. I think her name's Allie. This young, sort of like, just this young girl. She works in like an airport, and she just kind of performs at bars and stuff, and he's like blown away by her singing. So he asks her out for a drink. They start going out. He discovers that she writes songs. He's like, I like your songs. He has her come on stage on one of his concerts. This all happens pretty fast. Like, fast enough that I'd be like, whoa, I, like, just met you. Why do you want me to go on the stage with you? But then he kind of makes her famous. The Star is Born. But then she keeps rising to the point where he's kind of holding her back with some of his issues, his alcoholism, his drug usage, that kind of thing. And, I'm not going to spoil it, but stuff happens, and it becomes sad. And there's a tension throughout the movie where, like, because you see that the Bradley Cooper's character has a mean side to him, an angry side, and there's a kind of tension throughout the movie, even in the nice scenes, which helps it feel more interesting than just, because for a lot of the movie, everything is going, like, perfectly for her. And only the slightest things are going wrong for him. So it's like, it'd be boring, except there's this underlying tension of, like, something's gonna go wrong. I thought it was gonna be that he would become, like, jealous of her success, and really mean, and, like, controlling. And it seemed like it was going that way for a little while, which culminated in this scene where they were, like, fighting in a bathroom. Like, verbally sparring, but then he sort of like that ended up being kind of a one-time thing. He never really got like that again. They went a different direction with it, which was less like, oh, angry and more sad. They really make nobody the villain, which is kind of interesting. I mean, the closest thing to the villain is there's a guy, her sort of pop star manager, who's sort of mean to Bradley Cooper's character, but even his meanness is like he's kind of being blunt, like he's stating a blunt truth, but he just goes too far with it. But they really make all the characters likable and relatable. You understand their motivations, and a lot of that goes into the acting as well. Bradley Cooper is, I mean, I don't know. I'm not huge on Bradley Cooper, and this movie doesn't make me huge on Bradley Cooper, but I am impressed at how he was able to train his singing talents to sort of go par to par with Lady Gaga, because they do have several duets. And he's able, like, his voice isn't noticeably worse than hers because he worked on it. On the flip side, so like his singing is impressive. And on the flip side, her acting is very impressive. Because, you know, it'd be a given. Bradley Cooper can act, Lady Gaga can sing. But then you see both of them able to do the other person's thing. Especially Lady Gaga. Like, you know, she's the big pop star celebrity. And for a lot of the movie, especially in the beginning of the movie, she's not a pop star celebrity. She's like an up-and-coming musician. I wouldn't even say up-and-coming, more just like not on the radar until Bradley Cooper, cowboy, stumbles upon her and like sweeps her up. And she plays that really well. Like, I really like the early scenes between the two of them when they go on their first date. He gets her first drink. She comes on stage with him for the first time. It sort of establishes her as a character. I feel the movie kind of slacks in the middle, where it's not really, like, for quite a while, it's kind of like you see her rising further and further in stardom, but it's not really clear where the story is going. But there is, even in that part, that's where there's the tension of, like, where is this going? When is this going to all crumble? And that makes that the middle of the movie less of a slog, but it's still, like, I didn't notice it when I watched it, but in retrospect now, that part of the movie was kind of a slog, and I don't know if I'd want to watch the movie again because of that. And then the end of the movie, I don't know, I don't want to spoil it, but it does pick up at the end, starting with an embarrassing incident at the Oscars that results from Bradley Cooper's alcohol problems, and then he's sort of like forced to confront them, but then he's still like holding her career back, and so some bad things happen, and it's sort of there's a sort of bittersweet ending to it. That's as much as I'm going to say about that. But it does pick up in the third act. But like, I don't know, I kind of wish more of the movie was just like pre-pop star Allie hanging out with Bradley Cooper's character, because I feel like they had really good chemistry, like really, really good chemistry. And I liked her sort of playing this person that she's not, sort of like shy, nervous performer with a great voice, who's sort of insecure about the quality of her own voice and her own talents. And it's nice to see her, like, of course by the end of the movie she's going to rise up and be a star. But it would have been nice to see a bit more struggle, I guess. I don't know. At points it felt almost too idealistic. Like, wow, she's just getting swept up into this world, and it's like a fairy tale prince come to rescue her from mediocrity and make her a star. It's like, okay. But I mean, that being said, like, by the end of the movie, I was, like, completely engrossed in it. I came out loving it. I really think the hype is there. You just have to know what kind of movie it is going in. Like, if you're looking for an action movie, or like, you know, the type of stuff I normally review, Star Wars, Marvel movies, that kind of thing, go watch Venom, which I haven't seen Venom. Otherwise I'd probably just review that right now, but I haven't seen it. But yeah, like, but if you're interested in, like, musicals or, like, seeing some really good acting, A Star Is Born is a good movie to see, and I think Lady Gaga or Bradley Cooper, some people are going to get nominated for awards and maybe win awards for that movie because the acting is really good. The stories, I mean, it's a bit of a cliche story, and you know that going in, and so don't expect them to pull any like major twists that make the story that much more interesting. But I will say that it's not 100% predictable where it's going. Like, I thought they were going to make him more of an asshole, but they really don't. They go a different direction, and so I'd say it's not as predictable as you might think. But I mean, if you're interested in that kind of movie, which is I was after hearing about it, that's why I went and saw it. Go see it. It's definitely worth the hype. Worth a hype. Hype. Arrivederci.